getting our first look at the Fists and Minds character generating. And so here is our sheet that we're using, and the equipping and equipment part of the sheet will get its own video. Today we're focusing on the stats. So we're going to make a character. We're going to name the character Bob. Here. And so now we have, for species and class, we have two options. We can either pick one from the list, or we can pick the stats and see which one that tells us. So for now, I'm going to pick Yeti, and for class, I'm going to pick Acrobat. Now we'll go and we'll look up the abilities for Yeti and Acrobat, as well as which of the stats go with those two decisions. For the Yeti, that's going to give us Divinity and Impact. That's the wrong eye. Impact. And then for Acrobat, we're going to get Flexibility and Influence, the other eye. So it ended up being okay. We got both eyes with this character. So the Yeti, that's going to be the Mountain Yell. And for the class ability, that's going to be Dangerous Crossing. So these abilities are in addition to any other abilities or spells or anything that the characters learn how to do. But these will always be ones that are separate for those starting character creating decisions of the one species and one class. Just a quick note, I know there will be other videos for each of our Fists and Minds stats, but just a note for gameplay, the stats that have the check marks or X's filled in here, those are boosted, but everyone in the game, every character can use all 10 of the stats, so that's important. Then now we have our each of the battle skills happens in correlating to one of the Fists and Minds stats. We do have Flexibility, so that armor is going to be +3. And that will be, everyone will have a set amount of starting armor. The person that has allocated Flexibility will get a bonus to that. So next we have Impact, that's our melee damage. And for having one check, that means our melee damage goes up from a D4 to a D6. We don't have movement, but movement is a speed stat, is a standard if you don't have it set as 5. Life points, same thing, we don't have extra toughness, so it's set at 5 for first level. And that will, obviously each of these will have videos, but for how you determine the starting numbers here. Range damage, we do not have our skill here, so the range damage is going to be a D4. Spell damage, we don't have magic, so our spell damage is going to be a D4. Now the effect here is going to go with the influence, and we don't have any here, so if we don't have influence, we don't get to affect influence. Same with neuronics, we don't get to affect the adaptation with this character. Now for divinity, we do have divinity per the Yeti, and so our spell potency here is going to, spell potency, we have 1, which means we can reach 1 higher level in the spell effectiveness. And then our field move is strategy, and we don't have any of those, so that is also a non-function here. So now that we've got Bob and he's got all his stats, let's do another one here. Now we are going to have Jane. Bob and Jane will be our intro characters here. And we're going to have Jane, we're going to do The other way here, where we chose the species and class for Bob first, this time we're going to pick the stats that we want, and that'll tell us which species and class we've got. And so to balance out Bob's being a Yeti acrobat, let's have, and so that we can explain some of those other stats, let's have our species be strategy and neuronics. And then for our class abilities, we will have influence, and let's do one we didn't do over here, toughness. So now I go check my handy chart. For neuronics and strategy, Jane is actually going to be an insected. And for toughness and influence, she is going to be an intimidator. So we ended up with an insected intimidator. That's kind of fun. Alliteration. Species ability for insected is hive strategy. And the class ability for intimidator is crack the knuckles. Now for armor, does not have flexibility. So our regular armor is just not going to be there. It'll be a 0. No impact, so our melee damage is a D4. No speed modifier, so it's a standard 5 on the movement. We do have toughness, so we are going to start with 8 points. The standard 5 plus 3 on toughness. We don't have skill marked, so it's a D4 on range damage. Don't have magic, so it's a D4 on magic spell damage. We do have the influence here, so we are going to be able to have an effect in battle. We'll put 1, and we do have neuronics from the insected, so we also will have 1 adapt. We do not have divinity, so spell potency is none, and our strategy is checked, so we could get 1 field move as well. So there you go. We've got 2 characters now, totally different. And the wonderful thing and the awesome thing about the opportunities for character creation here, if these X's are in the same letter but on the opposite line, it will be a completely different species or a completely different class combination. So you have dozens of options, even if you just wanted those 4 stats to be the ones you started with. So that's a really fun thing too. I would love to hear if you guys combine these or try these out. Check out the list, check out the charts. I'd love to hear about characters you're making in the comments. This has been a little bit of our first look at the GETHERVERSE Fists and Minds system character sheet. I hope you enjoy, and I can't wait to hear about your characters. Thanks, Internet.